Paul Chek recommended I get your core harmonizer, I had to plug it into the wall. And like you said, it's kind of like a really big, beautiful wooden hand-carved wooden stool, if you will. Like it's just something that goes on the floor. And when I plugged it in, I had to get down on the floor to plug it in. And that's all you have to do is plug it in. Okay, it's not like some big setup. I hadn't even stood up yet from bending over to plug it in, and I immediately felt inside my body something shift.
Wow.
When the music started playing, I just felt something immediately. So I don't want to get too much into that because I just, I'm still not really sure what it was, but something changed and I stopped and was like, okay, this is different. Like something's already happening. And then I proceeded to play it all the time, like 24 hours. And everybody knows I love animals and nature. And I love my birds and my bunnies and my chipmunks and my dog and all this stuff. So every morning I do my prayers and I connect and I put on my core harmonizer and I open all my doors and windows, and it's like wild kingdom around here. All the birds come flying, the bunnies come out of the bushes, the animals gravitate toward it, my dog takes a nap. And then the icing on the cake, Ross, was last weekend. My niece, my little 8-year-old niece was visiting me because I have her most weekends, and she hadn't seen it yet. And of course, I plug it in because I miss it when I'm gone. Can't wait to get home and plug it back in because it just makes me feel good. And I plugged it in, and she immediately looked at me and said, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's my core harmonizer. Don't you like it? Isn't it pretty?" And she was just kind of like really quiet. And she was like, "Yeah." And I was trying to explain to her what it does and why it works. And I showed her the lights and I showed her the geometry, how it's like a chamber. It reminds me, just for the listeners, kind of like, how you experience music inside a church or a cathedral because of the structure of the geometry. It changes the vibrational body experience of hearing and feeling the music. Well, this is what the technology of the core harmonizer does because of the structure. It changes the resonance of the music itself. And I think that's why I felt it so strongly, viscerally in my body. And my niece felt it too. And it also has the beautiful pattern of flower of life on top of it, super pretty, engraved in the top. It has the colored lights. It's just a beautiful piece of art that makes the most gorgeous sound that is so peaceful and relaxing. I play it in the background. But to finish my story, my niece left the room and she comes back with a towel and she laid it on the floor. Now she's 8 years old. She laid it on the floor in front of the harmonizer and wanted to just like lay there and just be as close to it as possible. If she could have, Ross, she would have climbed inside it. And then she said to me, "Can I get one? Can Daddy and I have one?" And everybody should have one of these in their home. And this is out of the mouth of babes, right? And I'm like, I agree with you, honey. I'm like, I'm going to do my best to get it out there because it's truly changed my life. This is why I put it on my e-store. This is why I'm trying to get you out there, Ross, because this is truly the real deal, everybody. And if I had a handful of items in my life that have significantly changed the quality and the joy of my life, this is one of them.
Wow.
And I'm going to go on the record and say that. So let me just officially thank you and your team and the divine wisdom downloaded to you how to create this amazing thing. And that just thank you. You have truly changed and enhanced the quality and enjoyment of my life. And I really hope people try it as well. Because like my niece said, everybody should have one. The world would be a happier, more balanced, peaceful place.